Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of the CW's The 100. This week we've seen Season 3, Episode 14, which is called Red Sky at Morning. And only 2 episodes left this season, and I don't think I'm going to be able to wait once the season's over. We already know it's renewed for Season 4, of course, but this show has just become one of my absolute favorites, and I'm not ready to take another almost year break. But we'll deal with that once the time actually comes, or try to anyway. This episode is a pretty good one, I want to say. I don't think it was quite as gripping to me as last week's episode was. I don't know. This episode still is a good one, though, don't get me wrong. It still felt like a really good setup episode, while at the same time feeling sort of climactic in its own way, I want to say, because we definitely got a lot more focus on Luna and what was going to happen or not happen with that. So it did still feel really important. We also had Murphy, Pike, and Indra trying to make movements as they're being held as well, of course, at Citadel. Then, of course, we had A.L.I.E all over the place, as she usually is. We had Raven and Monty working closely together to try and get into the system. So we really did have a lot going on. This is another really good setup episode that I think is going to be able to, what's probably going to be an awesome finale. 2 episodes left again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle that. So like I said, part of the focus was on Indra, Pike, and Murphy being held, and Murphy sort of starts up, their escape. And the escape scene was pretty cool because we had the guards, of course, being controlled by A.L.I.E coming in, and they noticed that Pike has been all scarred up, his shirt torn and stuff, and obviously they didn't do that to him, so they started looking for loose screws or loose chains. One of them had to do that. And of course it was Indra, as we know, and she breaks out and she kills a couple of them herself, which is a pretty cool moment. And then Murphy gets Russell to go after the backpack, so they can destroy that. And we have A.L.I.E using Amori. I finally remembered her name. Or heard her name again, remembered it, of course, Amori being the girl Murphy's pretty fond of, that he met last season and stuff. Of course, with the arm and things like that. And A.L.I.E's using her to try and get to him, to try and manipulate him, to hold off on what he's trying to do with the movement they're trying to make here. More on that a little bit later, though. And then back with Clarke and the rest of them, they're still trying to get Luna to take the chip. Of course, not the chip, but the one that contains the sphere of Lexa and the other commanders and stuff like that. She's still refusing. She's just very committed to what they've built there, the safety of it and the stability of it for her people. Similar to the qualities we look for in Lexa and stuff in a way. Octavia and her having one together, they talk about Lincoln. Octavia says Lincoln would want her to help them, and Luna counters saying Lincoln would know the way of their people, and sort of realize that Luna should probably stick to what she's doing. And sorry if this review is a little bit more brief than usual, but I do have to leave for work in about an hour or less. So I don't mean to rush this, but I do gotta get out of my Walking Dead shirt if I want to go to work and stuff, unfortunately. And we have Harper and Monty actually having a little bit of a fling together, which is pretty different. Of course, Harper's a character that's been in the background, sort of just been there since season 1. And she's saying she needs Monty's help, and it turns out because she's just wanting to get away from all the focus on the issues and stuff like that. Harper kisses Monty, and looks like Monty's pretty damn excited. He does question at first if she's under control by the A.I. Doesn't appear that she is, but I still say she's a little bit shady, for sure. She did have a thing for Jasper back in season 1 a little bit, if you guys remember. And I forget if we did we see that Harper is under control or not? I kind of forget. But I feel like if she was, we would have seen it in this episode, maybe. But it still came off a little bit weird, so I want to be fully confident about what she's doing right now. But we did get another funny scene with that later when Raven walks in on Monty and Harper. Raven just says, finally, when she tries to get, Monty to go back to help her. And Raven was doing quite a bit this episode, too, with trying to get into A.L.I.E systems, whereas Monty wanted to wait for Clarke and the rest of them to get back so they could, have what they planned on with if Luna had taken it, that they'd have a direct way into that, no question. But Raven's, taking more risks. She kind of wants to get it going, and Monty, he ends up struggling with that in a major way once the consciousness or mind of his mother, starts speaking to him, and A.L.I.E sort of using that as a tool again. But we'll talk more about that in a minute. Clarke ends up wanting to force Luna to take it anyway, because they need this and she doesn't really see any other way around it. So she tries to talk to Luna again, but then she ends up trying to, kind of hold her down and force her into her neck. Luna sort of outmaneuvers her and tosses her to the ground. Let's see. And then A.L.I.E, she had gained the influence of some of the people on Luna's oil rig, apparently, and they had found out about it somehow, and so A.L.I.E has the people turn on Luna and attack. Jasper is also getting interested in another girl again. I think her name was Shay. But of course, she ends up getting an arrow to the back. She does come in a little bit of usefulness. She does come in handy a little bit later, because before she bleeds out and dies, she is able to free Clarke and the others. But still, it's kind of a usual thing. Even if Shay did survive this episode, I wouldn't expect her to last very long anyway. But she seemed nice enough, and it's really just good to see that Jasper does have some life back in him again, whichever way that went. Luna being tortured, of course, with the water and a towel over her face thing. Trying to get some of her people to take it. Some of them very committed to her, refusing. The ones really hating her seeing being tortured like that. The ones really hating her being tortured like that. And, he accepts to take it if they stop, but he basically ends up being the one torturing her when he becomes influenced by A.L.I.E. Jasper still refuses. And Luna shows a tremendous amount of willpower by still not really giving into it. Raven ends up getting into A.L.I.E.'s system, and she gets to the point where she's cracking this password, and to the point where she might actually be able to shut her down, which is pretty exciting, if it wasn't the third to last episode. You knew it wasn't going to work out this quickly. It was still kind of exciting nonetheless to see him get this close, and that's when we had the moment with Monty's mom. She's sort of speaking to Monty. Monty struggles with it, but Monty actually showed quite a bit, for himself. Here he sort of refuses. He sort of stays strong with it, and Raven types in the code, and they hit delete, and A.L.I.E.'s forced to withdraw, so she withdraws to. It was kind of confusing where she went, because when they show this the arc in space again, which looked completely intact, and it's kind of weird. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I'm just focusing on going to work too much right now. But it was still, we knew it wasn't going to end there. Maury, of course, delays Murphy as Pike and Indra and him are trying to, get to the backpack. And she delays Murphy just long enough so he refuses, and then when Pike finally does it himself, it's too late, and she had transferred herself successfully, like I talked about. So they're taken in again. And then we get a pretty badass, little fight scene about Luna finally escaping, and she sort of fights off the others and kills the guy who is trying to help her. Not really trying to help her. I mean, the guy who seemed to care very much about her, sort of like Titus did for Lexa. And Luna's forced to kill him since he's under control of A.L.I.E as well. But Luna still ends up refusing to take it, and she sends them on their way. They wake up back where they started in episode 13. And yeah, so that's kind of it for the episode. I'd say it was a pretty good one. I didn't like it quite as much as Join or Die last week, but I still thought it was another really good setup episode that gets me excited to see what they're going to pull in the final 2 episodes, especially the finale. And the titles of the final 2 episodes have been put out there. They're going to be called Perverse Instantiation. Maybe I'm mispronouncing that. Part 1, and then same title, Part 2. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do to end the season. Still not really ready to, wait over almost another year to see more of it, but 100, a great show, and I'm really enjoying season 3 so far overall. I'm glad people have gotten over the big deaths. Yes, they were frustrating in some senses, but still well done, so I'm glad people are starting to move on and starting to realize they still have a great show here. But yeah, so overall, pretty good episode, another good setup, for the final 2 coming up here, and you guys know I'll review those as soon as I can in the following weeks. And yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and theprincipalgood.com. Catch you guys next time, and peace. My reviews of the Vampire Diaries and the originals will be a little bit delayed as well since I'm working tonight. I may watch the Vampire Diaries very late tonight if I can, depending on when it goes on demand, not sure. But I'll at least get those out to you guys very late tonight or Saturday at some point, and then my review of the final season of Nikita will be coming sometime this weekend as well. Catch you guys next time.